Okay, so when you open up Cricut Design Space, we are going to insert the card corners first. So you're going to go to Images on the left here, and then up here I'm just going to type Insert Card Corners, and you'll see all of these come up. And I'm already connected to my Joy up here, so it'll bring up the corners, and then you can see which ones are for Access, and there are a few that I believe you would have to pay for. So let's just insert one here. So I'm just going to click on this one, click Insert, and you're just going to leave it this size because this is the size the card is going to be, the 4" by 5 1/4. So whatever I do, it needs to fit inside here. So then we're just going to go to Images and delete that, and let's find what we want to make the card. I'm going to type in Miss You, and I found this one here. I miss you, but also stay away. So we're going to click on that, and then insert images. And for this one, I'm just going to rotate it because it needs, since it's long this way, I want it to be a horizontal card. And then I'm just going to change the size by dragging in the corners here so that it fits inside of these. And then where I have it where I like it, I'm going to use my cursor, put a square around it, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to center both of them so that they are all centered. And then I'm also going to come down here while they're still in a square and click Attach. And you'll see they all change colors, but this means that now it's will all cut out like this. And then this is where the card, the insert card behind it will show up, so these will show up colors. The one problem with some of these is that like the O's and all the little parts inside of here will be missing. You can always glue them onto the insert if you want, but you can leave them. I think it looks fine that way. Okay, so inside the card, if you want to write something, we're going to go to the text, and then we're just going to start typing something. And I'm going to write, I can't wait until I can give you a big hug. Okay. And then I'm going to come up to font, and on the filter here, I'm going to go to the writing. So these are all the ones that will write with the pens. And then you can just click on them and they will switch here. And then you can go to one that you find that you like. I know, I think picking the font is the hardest part because there's so many cute ones. Okay, so let's just do this one. So first of all, I need to make it smaller. And I'm also going to go to the alignment and center it so all the lines are centered. And then I'm also, because there's a good amount of space between here, I'm going to decrease the line space. So I'm just going to keep decreasing it until I like it. And then since this card is going to be horizontal, I also need this. So I'm going to actually rotate this, just grabbing that rotating wheel. You can also come up to here. You see it on here and rotate. You could also type in 270 and that will rotate it how you want it. But now I need it smaller. So I'm going to use the arrow and make it smaller so that it will fit on inside the card. Okay, so now I have all of these. So this is going to be the front of my card, and this is going to be the inside of my card that it's going to draw. And you can see that over here on my layers panel. It says draw, and then here's my cut. So now I'm going to go to make it. And on here, I'm going to click on card matte because I'm going to use my matte. And then on my material size, I'm going to change it to my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 because that's the size I have. and you will see that this comes here. So the one thing it doesn't do is center it. So you will want to grab it and move it to where you want, to where it looks about center in that red square. And then I'm also going to write my name on the bottom there. So I'm going to leave a little bit blank there. So I'm going to move it. And then on here, you will see, I'm just going to leave it at this material size, even though it says bigger. But you can see everything is in this square where it's going to be cut out. Okay, so now I'm going to click continue. And you'll see it connects to my Joy. And then on the set material, I'm going to do the insert card cardstock. And it's going to tell me to load my pen first. So I'm going to load that, load my mat, and put that in. Okay, so then I'm going to load my pen in. Just going to gently press it down. It doesn't click like the other Cricuts do. And then just close the clamp. And since it's going to write the inside of the card first, I'm actually going to flip this card over and insert it so that the inside of the card is facing up. So I'm just going to slide it in until it's flush with the top and the side and bend it over. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold it up to the rollers and it will just grab it and take it in. And once it's telling me a line, I'm just going to click go on my computer or tablet or phone, whatever you're using. So once it's complete, I'm going to click unload on my computer and it will just come out. And then I'm going to cut the front side of the card. So I'm just going to take this off and I'm going to flip it back so it's right side out. And then I'm just going to insert this one in and again have it flush. And press it down, and it's telling me to insert my fine tip blade. So I'm going to stick that back in. And again, hold this up. And once it's ready, I'm going to click go on my computer and let it cut out the front side. So once it says complete, I'm going to click unload my computer. And now we're going to take this off. And pull this out, and whatever doesn't totally come off, I'm just going to pull off. My mat's not as sticky as it used to be since I've made a lot of cards on here. Okay, and so now we're just going to insert the card, and you can always cut more of these so you can use any color you want. Pretty easy to cut, just insert a rectangle to the size and cut more out if you want a different color. So you can see, as I mentioned, it's missing those little pieces, but that's fine. If you like it, or you can also grab just like a marker, any kind of color, and just add them in there a little bit. but you don't have to. That's just optional. And then when they open it, it has there. I can't wait until I can give you a big hug. And then just sign your name and your card is set to go.